Tom Waller is a bright young British talent who's just completed his latest film entitled Eviction. Eviction is set entirely on location in Northern Ireland and is shot on 35mm. It's inspirational and it's aspirational, so check it out.
Brendan! You let her alone, Connor! Yeah. Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
I'm sitting here on the shores of Lough Derg in County Tipperary, where I've been filming for Eviction, a film by Tom Waller set in the late 19th century, Irish approaching the famine.
Mr. McBride, you were seen trading at market, and yet you're several weeks in arrears. You must not...
I play the character of Patrick McBride, a well-doing and decent small farmer who finds himself in a terrible dilemma.
I've never hidden any weapon, my lord, and I know nothing of these crimes.
I don't care for liars, McBride, and I will not tolerate squatters.
On one side, he has a landlord who is determined to evict him if he doesn't pay his rent, and on the other side, he is being got at by his local neighbours, the Molly Maguires, a revolutionary group who are determined to see the English off the land, and by any means they know.
By this sacred and holy book of God, do you solemnly swear that you will keep and honour thy allegiance to the secret society of free Irishmen, and that you will not rest until the British are driven from all four corners of this land?
Anya is a woman operating under very difficult circumstances and trying to get out of it as best she can, try to stick together as a family.
We'll survive this famine as a family. We don't need anyone else. Not the British, not the Molly Maguires, just ourselves.
Anya, I'm doing what's best for all of us. It's not for them.
But you're my brother. And I love you.
Whosoever sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed.
We're all operating under chaos, but I hope none of it registers on screen. That's the important thing. It doesn't really matter that you see, half a dozen crazed lunatics going, oh God, we've only got 10 minutes to do this. Provided none of it shows on screen, that's fine. And all the crew, everybody here is pitching in.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
It's going to be a bit more subtle than the usual things. It's not necessarily going to be all bad English and good Irish. It's going to be a bit more mixed than that, a bit more realistic, a bit more honest, and I think a lot tougher. What has the prisoner to say for himself?
Name's Connor Nolan. I've done nothing wrong.
You're a thief and a criminal, sir, and as such you shall be convicted.
I'll be tried by no Englishman, so you can go to hell.
Thank you, Constable. The man has confessed. Release the prisoner. I said release the prisoner. Can't let them get away now, can we?
A man better known to us as Evan Richards started off his career in front of the camera as a child actor, most notably in a film you may have heard of, Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Anyway, we thought it was a great idea to send a crew along to see how he got on in his transition to becoming a director.
Doing a scene after the big confrontation scene with the banker and the homeless person. The banker is back at his flat and he's calling the police and he's all freaked out. And so we're setting it up in this very nice but moderately sized flat, and we have to get like gigantic pieces of equipment into this big of a space.
Action!
We have to get the blood dripping on the floor, so the cameraman is putting on the actor's slippers and sweatpants, and it's gonna be like he's gonna hold the camera and it's gonna be looking down and blood is gonna be dripped. It's real blood too.
It's got a nice consistency. So it's quite, especially if you want it dripping like the way it is.
What's the blood made of?
Camera's going up, stand down.
One of the other actors. We suck the blood out of him, and so we're just gonna use it. Okay. Walk towards us again, Simon. Stop.
And action!
Earlier this evening, near Bank Street.
What were the circumstances, sir?
It was a woman. Derelict, beggar, homeless. She attacked me and made off with my money.
Were there any weapons involved?
No.
How did she attack you, sir?
She jumped on me.
Okay, stop, Simon.
Yeah.
When you come towards the camera, play more to the camera. I know you were like this, but cheat a little bit. So we're finishing up at this location. I think it went pretty smooth. We just have to paint, refloor, retile the whole place. That's what happens when you let a film crew into your flat. Next time I see you, we're going to be on the set of the alleyway, Change Alley, where we're going to be doing the confrontation scene. Running low on stock, so what you have to do is, which I like to do anyway, a lot of filmmakers that I've read about like to do, instead of doing take after take after take, you waste film. If the actors don't give it all, rehearsals, doing a bunch of times are better. You can get your shot in one take. I know Clint Eastwood, that's what he does. I think that's good because it never gets really better. I mean, by the 50th take, how much better is it going to be? If anything, it wears down the actors and people start to lose their balance.
With the shoot drawing to a close, the crew and Evan are showing signs of fatigue. They're now setting up for the violent confrontation scene between Simon Wilson as the banker and Elizabeth Hopley as Woman X.
I'm not going to leave it alone until you give up the money, love. Understand?
At 3 a.m. in the morning, finally, the shoot is drawing to a close. The moment of truth is not far away, but what has Evan created? A minor masterpiece or just a big turkey?
The reality or the fantasy? Both. Okay, the reality is we have to clean. Tomorrow we have to return equipment. I have to get the dailies in, this week's dailies.
It's like a bonding session we're having.
The way we did then. The fantasy is that's all being taken care of for me. I'm in Hawaii writing my next script.
Now this is the part of the show where I get to sit down, kick back and talk to attractive young women. Well, attractive young actors and actresses anyway. And joining me on the bandstand at Battersea Park today is none other than rising young British actress Kate Stevenson-Payne. Now, you've just been away in Russia. I'm shooting a new film for TV, I believe, and it's, what's it called?
Attila.
What's the role that you play in it?
I play Powers Booth's daughter, Lydia, set in Roman times, so I play a very young girl who I'm kind of his relief in it because he's, all this battles going on and, most of it's all to do with the battles and but at the end of the day, you get to see his softer side with his daughter.
What's wrong?
Attila's taken Orleans.
I thought you said that wouldn't happen.
Seems I was mistaken.
What will you do?
Take a journey to Gaul. I'd like you to come.
If you think you'll need me,
I think I might.
I'll make ready.
The question that's really burning on my lips, besides the fact if that's your dog and if you've got some doggy treats with you, is do you get to kill anybody in it?
No, I'm too nice.
Oh.
I'm too nice.
We must be going for those roles sooner. Now,
Yeah.
What about being on such a big sort of American production where there's lots of money and everything, and then finding yourself sitting here in Battersea bandstand with me?
It is surreal. I find it really surreal when I'm abroad on some major thing. You know, you've been doing the washing up one day and then suddenly you're whisked away to some huge country, you know, Russia or America or wherever, and suddenly everything's done for you. And it is very surreal. You wake up one day and you're taken on set and your hair's done and your makeup. You don't have to lift a finger, and it is weird, but it's great. And then you come home and you kind of, I always wake up the next morning and think, did I dream that?
Your first big break as an actress, and that came a few years ago, was with the film Richard III. How was it starting off in something quite so high profile and with such big name actors with you as well on the cast?
It was quite terrifying, actually. I was quite young and it was my first big thing, and I turned up for the first day and they'd all been rehearsing for quite some time, and I walked into the room and there was just all these actors I'd longed to work with all together in one place, and I walked in and took a deep breath, walked out again and had to go to the loo. I was absolutely terrified, but once we got going it was great, it was fine. You know, they're just normal people, actors like everyone else.
Tell me, you villain slave! Where are my children? Where is my brother Rivers and your brother Clarence? I've no more sons of the royal blood for you to slaughter.
You have a daughter, old Elizabeth.
So what do you think's been your best role to date then?
I had a good role in Bad Girls. That was meaty, strong, which, you know, I didn't used to play those roles, and the stronger roles are coming towards me more and more these days.
You don't get it, do you? You don't give me orders. You're nothing special. You're just a common criminal. One more word, and I'll snap that little brass neck of yours in two. Don't go running to bets again, or you'll wish you were dead.
What's your main goal, Hollywood or beyond?
Do you know, my main goal isn't Hollywood. I would go there if I was offered a job, obviously, and the money would be nice, but that's not my main goal. My main goal is to carry on working, doing projects that I love. I would be just as happy on stage in England in a small theatre as I would in Hollywood if it's a part that I really wanted to do. My goal is to keep on working for as long as possible until I'm dead and buried.
Kate Stevenson-Payne, thank you very much for joining us in the bandstand, and all the future success in your career too. Thank you. Cheers. Well, that's it for this week's show. I hope you've enjoyed our whistle-stop tour from around the world of film. But before I go, I'm going to leave you with our roving reporter, the shouting Schrock, perhaps the only man in the world the movie stars don't listen to. Bye.
You looking forward to it, Jodie? Come on, Graham, let's have a quick one. Graham! You're a big fan of Johnny Depp. Why do you choose this role? Graham, come on, have you read the book? Have you read the book? Penelope! Come on! I'm the one! You're making no sense, Graham! Kate! Kate! You're a big fan of Johnny Depp. Look in the corner! What was it like working with Penelope, all right? Penelope! Are you pleased with everything, Penelope? What about Cruz? She's quite nice. Nicholas! Nicholas! Mr. Cage! Not over there, Nicholas, come on! Kate! Yes, you do, come on! Over the shoulder! Thank you! Josh! Josh! Come back here! Lovely! I haven't finished, Nicholas! What's it like to be